Hey YouTube! Cancelled that last video I just did. I was doing a video on the tremolo system on the Welcome to Westone week, by the way, however long that lasts. So I did one Saturday, the yellow one, the Concord H2. I was going to do them in order, but then I saw this one and thought I'll do this one so they're not in order. This is a 1987 Westone Clipper 6, which it normally should say on the truss rod cover, but I don't have this isn't the original truss rod cover. So this has got a DiMarzio Super Distortion in it, an original one. This is the third DiMarzio Super Distortion. That's one of the ones I've got. This is another one. The other one is in my my reader, which we'll maybe see during the week, maybe. Yeah, so I bought this guitar. Actually, the first time Civic was over, I remember it. It was just the body and the neck I bought. It had no other bits. No, it had the pickup. Didn't have the bridge, because that's just the... You can get them for £4 in Temu, decent bridge. It's actually quite... it's not survived particularly well. It's kind of corroded. Maybe they're not as good as I thought they were. It's through strung, but I didn't have... There's meant to be a metal plate in there, but the guy had taken it out. He tried to do the guitar up years ago, and so I just hammered normal ferrules in there. Had made this back plate out of something, piece of metal. It's earthed as well. I bought a Matsumoku neck plate. No serial number on it, because the serial number should be on the back of the headstock, but somebody sanded this. Yeah, so I looked up, I thought, it is, this one was only made in Japan. There are other Clipper series which came out at the same time, which have a more pointier six-a-side headstock, but none of them just have one pickup. They've got like an HSH and an HH and various things like that, but they're Korean. This is still Japanese. The kind of last ditch attempt. The one, if you look up, I think I've used it in other videos, as the thumbnail, Status Quo. There was an advert for Westone, Status Quo, Parfit and Rossi both playing this guitar. Never saw them playing it live, but I mean, they definitely played it for that photo shoot. And you can just imagine them looking through all the Westones and going, that one looks a bit like a telly, that one. It's like, no, Rick, I've already chosen the telly one. No, I'm having a telly one as well. We're Status Quo. Yeah, so this one doesn't have the proper tuners on it either. I don't know, it doesn't balance very well. I got Grovers off an old Shine guitar. Or I bought the Shine guitar, I stole the Grovers off it, put cheap ones on it. But the ones that I had on this when I first built it were just cheap crappy ones from China. And I think because they weighed that little bit less, the guitar was just better. It's just a bit, it wants to hang there and I want it to sit there. And I'm totally sure it's these tuners that have done it. So I probably at some point want to get rid of them. I'm not sure whether I want to keep the DiMarzio in here either. So this came with an MMK45 pickup. These two switches on the original guitar turn on each coil, but it turns them on in parallel. So you're buying this, which to me it says heavy metal. It's a Telecaster, but this is a hair metal Telecaster. You know, if Wasp played a telly, probably in pink though. But yeah, but that's not what it did. It put them in series, so it was like a hum cancelling single coil, or a single coil you got. Right, okay, so I've wired this one. It does turn on each coil, but they're in series, so when they're both on, it's a humbucker. So that, I would say, I don't know which one's on. Right, I'd say that's most likely to be the north coil. Got the action incredibly low in this thing. I think this was in my era of trying to get the action as low as I could when it still played. Fucking 0.75 of a millimetre. That's like totally insanely low action. But I mean, it totally plays. On single coil mode. And clean, probably not the best way. So the other coil, this one probably brighter. Not a huge difference. I think they're the other way around. Do you reckon that this one, because this one will be treblier. I don't know. Anyway, humbucker. Humbucker with cheap rat one. single player. It is a very, very easy guitar to play. And again, these are electro strings. They're probably 10 years old. Also can be seen in the video for Ebenezer Goods by The Shaman on Top of the Pops. I remember that very performance when I was a kid because one of the backup dancers, I hated the song. I never really got it. I didn't know what drugs were at the time, so I didn't realise it was E's are good, E's are good. Oh, let's take E. Oh. Now, that bypassed me. What didn't bypass me was watching Top of the Pops and the backup dancers with two guys wearing my wetsuit, a typhoon. Mine's blue, but theirs was black, like a typhoon wetsuit on stage just for the video. But the video's just the guys playing one of these, not in this colour. I think the Shaman are Scottish, actually, I'm not even sure. It's got a very, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Snakehead telly, you know, if you ever, whenever you buy any of these guitar books, you know, the books of all the history of electric guitar and all that, always shows you the prototype Telecaster, which is, it's not entirely unlike this. It doesn't have the pick up at an angle, and it's got like, but I think it's got the metal plate. It's kind of almost a tribute to that. So it's a little bit pointier here. I mean, I wonder actually, I wonder if you could put a tele scratch plate on it. Yeah. Because I mean, the reason this hasn't been JPAX is because I like white guitars, but I'm pretty sure I could modify a scratch plate that would just fit over that, and then it would just be. Maybe that'd be pretty cool. Maybe alter this to make it a bit pointy. And maybe if we look at that and then I'll stick it on with like double-sided sellotape or something so I can take it off again rather than putting screws in it. Not that one of these guitars is ever really worth that much money. I've seen a few of them kicking about. They're normally kind of about 200 quid, I think, depending on how damaged and broken it is. This one does have big chunks and stuff out it, but I knew what I was buying, you know. It's actually a little bit like the Shocking Bird. I wonder if I had this first. But it does, the neck on it is not a Telecaster neck, it's more of a, it feels more Gibson-y. I'm assuming it is 25.5 inch scale. I was assuming correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, well, I think the reason there's no serial numbers is because the back of the neck's been sanded. I hate it when people do that. So any dirt on it, it's like in the grain, it's like, yeah, that's it, someone's hand. Don't like that. I hate this strap. That's when I took it in the case, I was like, that's like a real leather white strap. I'm surprised I've got it on this guitar. And as I put it on, it's like, I don't like it. Kind of I can feel my back sweating when it's touching me. It's like, but it's there because it doesn't hang the way it's meant to. It hangs too horizontally. It's really annoying. I do think that happened when I put these tuners on it because Grovers are heavier than cheapy ones. I'd actually have a look on Temu next time I'm ordering something and see if I can get a set for this. Because I'll probably get 20 quid for the Grovers. And it's like, they don't go out of tune, so I mean, I don't really tune guitars that much if they don't go out of tune, so I'm not really one for spending a lot of money in tuners. I'd be much more... That actually sounds pretty good, doesn't it? It's got a real crunch to it. Actually, do you know what it feels like? It feels like a heavy metal guitar. The neck dimensions, it seems to, it's probably not, these things, it's very, very minuscule if you actually measure them differences. It's maybe like a couple of millimeters wider, slightly flatter, thinner this way. It's got that kind of what is actually, when I go into the Raider during the week, it's a wee bit earlier, it's 1983 I think. It's got like, it's like an Explorer thing, but it's much more angular and it's glitter and oh, it's pure thing, mate. And then you pick it up and it feels just like a Strat. Whereas this is more the neck I would have expected to be on that. They're obviously trying to mess about with things, make things a bit different. Apparently these were very big with country players. I can totally see it. You know, late 80s, guy with a cowboy hat giving it lead guitar on one of these. I can totally see it. Wearing dungarees. What was I trying to play last night? Let's go for the pure tone test. All pedals off, dirty channel. Aye, that's just that. Give me a guitar at the old jam night. There you go. That sound, we're in. A little bit spanky, but the action's at like a 3/4 of a millimeter. That's like basically half the action I would set a guitar to. I must have done a lot of work on the frets. It must have been one of those things that I saw as a challenge, you know, one of those nights you sit up all night just going fucking beat this, and I think that's what, almost as an experiment to see how low you can get the action on a guitar. It's totally ridiculous. but I'm going to be using that the pure channel. But these, I should maybe get myself a bypass switch so I'm not running through all these pedals, even though they're all off, they're all true bypass. You want that pure tone. It's all about the tone. Also, I think this guitar has a little bit of shock factor to it. I like a bit of shock factor because it's a telly, but it's not a telly. I don't like the neck drive. It's doing my head in every time I let go of it. It's like I can feel it. But that's obviously why I put this strap on with a suede back on it. I can feel it pulling my t-shirt round as it wants to pull. It's gripping my t-shirt. And you know, if it'd been a slippy strap, it would just go thump. It's kind of yeah. So maybe have a wee look on Temu, see if I can get myself some cheapy tuners. Might get tuners with the skulls on the top, that might be quite cool. And am I going to mess with the controls? I did have it originally as when I first got it. I was not having, and obviously it's like that, but not a humbucker. No, so I get wired as a humbucker, but I had it as a. There's no off switch. I had it so you had humbucker, single coil, and somehow it was parallel wired as well, and I thought fuck it, I'll just make it two on switches. So I technically got a kill switch or that one, whatever one you want. But it's obviously there's a slight temptation to go, what can I actually do with a humbucker? So, you know, I can maybe put three-way switches in, that would, you know, or get all the sounds possible at one pickup. But I can't really be bothered. If you've got one guitar like this, you're playing with one pickup, you really just want the volume control. You don't even really need these switches, to be honest. That's the ultimate rock machine, is just a humbucker and a volume. The switches are... they're useful for turning it off. There you go, so I can turn it off. But, a lot of these things are just stylistic, aren't they? That's a clean channel. It's got a bit of drive to it. Bit of reverb. Quite spanky down here. Yeah, I definitely think it's the other way around. So this is the on switch for the north pickup. But that's why when I'm putting coil splits into a lot of my guitars, things like the Corker, when it's down to a single coil in the bridge position, I'm choosing the north coil. And then when I'm using the neck position, I'm also choosing the north coil, even though I flip the pickup so they're both different. And it's still... so that there's your... This coil, which is just being the width of a coil that much closer you get. As opposed to... It's amazing, actually. Oh, my VU meter's working again. Both good sounds, but I mean, it just goes to show you how you can sit there and argue about what your pickups are and all that, and there's always got to be the right kind of magnets. But the difference, the two coils in a DiMarzio are both exactly the same. So there you've got two identical pickups stuck next to each other. They're identical, and that there's that much difference in sound. So I mean, what difference does it make that this pickup's at an angle rather than being straight? That a similar sort of difference to switching between the two, and that's the whole thing as well with the distance from the bridge. Something like the Corker, the Kraken, this pickup is very close to the bridge. It's only In fact, it's almost exactly. It's even closer than this one is. You know, it's like how long the string is, but on some guitars, the bridge pickup's actually, it's, you know, it can be here, right up against it, still technically bridge pickup, or it could be out here a bit, still a bridge pickup. Makes a big difference whereabouts these things go. What's best? Don't know. Yeah, we could do with raising the action on this a little bit, but it's pure ridiculous. It's really as low as that, isn't it? 0.75. 0.75 under both. Even on the back of this, it doesn't tell you to go as low as that. Here's an electric guitar. 1 to 1.5, or 1.5 to 2 for the thick string. Don't know that. Yeah, no, less than that. 3/4 of that. Bet you it makes it sound fucking amazing. I wonder if that's what put me off it. Maybe when I set it up a bit more, once I put the better tuners on, maybe I just put the action too low. But it's quite loud, but it's kind of coming from here rather than coming from here. Yeah, I might have a wee go at that. Maybe there might be a wee run at the end of Westone week where I've actually gone through and sorted the things that are wrong with these. Just things like, I'm not going to put strings on them, that's too expensive. But rock on. I'm sorry about the live stream last night. Somebody said it was a magnificent speech at the end. It's like, what did I say? I do remember talking about all the subjects, going, oh, you just got me a bottle of bucky, so I talk about all the subjects I'm not allowed to talk about, and then proceeded to talk about all the subjects I shouldn't be talking about, religion and politics and all these things like that. Yay! So, rock on. See you during the week.